Why is it so difficult to apologize? Wonders Ngozi Fulani as she reignites the palace racial dispute. Late in November 2022, Ngozi Fulani attended a reception that Queen Camilla threw at Buckingham Palace. Ngozi Fulani, a charity executive, has brought attention back to the Buckingham Palace racial controversy that initially surfaced in late November 2022. A palace spokesperson claimed that the promises made to Ms Fulani in late 2022 have been kept when Ms Fulani appeared on ITV's Good Morning Britain this morning. As a result, Ms Fulani, the CEO of the Sistah Space organization, revealed that the palace has once again failed to directly apologize to her. The palace changed its remarks after being contacted by the program of Ms Fulani's prepared remarks. For the avoidance of any mistake, we are extremely sorry for the situation that occurred and apologize for the anguish and difficulties it brought to Ms Fulani, according to a portion of the statement read aloud by TV host Richard Madeley. But, Ms Fulani stated to the TV hosts, whom did they apologize to? If you're sorry, please say so, if not, your behavior speaks for itself. Later, she added, it's hardly an apology if you have to ask someone for one. So to ensure that everyone understands, I am making this statement. I fail to see why saying I'm sorry is so difficult. You invited me, you know where I am, and you know how to apologize. If you are sorry, express it, if not, I understand. So I'm not sure to whom you are apologizing when you say this apology is for everyone. The charity executive continued by claiming that as a result of the online harassment and threats of violence made at her as a result of her decision to speak up about what transpired between herself and Lady Susan Hussey, her organization has suffered. She said that the palace did nothing to assist her and did not just apologize to her. Ms Fulani continued, mentioning the reception she attended at Buckingham Palace the previous year, the palace hasn't stepped in, and in my opinion they should have, given that this was supposed to be an event against violence on women and girls, and because of this incident the violence has been directed at me. As a result, I have temporarily resigned from my position as CEO. A number of guarantees were made by the palace which have all been honored, the palace spokesman continued, including strengthening diversity and inclusivity programs. The charity had to pay for PR to fight back against internet harassment, Ms Fulani continued, because Sistah Space users and the community couldn't access it effectively. African and Caribbean-born victims of domestic violence can get assistance from Sistah Space. Ms Fulani said she doesn't regret speaking up, despite the problems the argument has brought about for her and her organization. To Mr. Madeley, she said, I'll go anywhere, at any time, to promote awareness of and dialogue about violence against women and girls, and I'm committed to this cause. That wasn't something I expected to be spoken to me at all. Ms Fulani spoke of the horrific abuse she had experienced online and the immense pressure she, her family, and Sistah Space had been subjected to since she stepped out in December. After discussing her bad encounter with Lady Susan, a former lady-in-waiting to Elizabeth II who in November 2022 maintained an honorary position as a royal household assistant, on Twitter, Ms Fulani came to light. The charity worker attended a reception hosted by Queen Camilla at Buckingham Palace, which included organizations and decision-makers united in their battle against domestic violence. Ms Fulani asserted at the ceremony, Lady Susan kept approaching her and interrogating her about her ethnicity and the origins of her people, while also caressing her hair to read her name badge. The palace published a statement hours after her report came to light, saying Lady Susan had stood down from her job and labeling her statements unacceptable and extremely unfortunate. A few days later, Lady Susan and Ms Fulani had a face-to-face meeting, during which the former royal aide gave her genuine apologies to the charity worker and promised to deepen her awareness of the sensitivities involved, according to the palace.